They're doing well. You're thinking about keeping bees. You've watched all sorts of videos, you read books, maybe taken a class, and you're wondering how many beehives should I have? Today I'm going to walk you through my journey of 6 or 8 years of beekeeping, how many hives I started with, and how many I have now, and why. Ready? Here we go. When I was first interested in beekeeping, I took a class, and my teacher was James Fisher, who is a great guy, scientist and beekeeping expert as well. And he suggested starting off with 2 hives rather than 1. And his thought on that, and I agree with this, is that it allows you to compare hives against each other. If you just have 1 hive and you're a beginning beekeeper and you don't have a big support network, if the hive is doing something odd, you might not pick up on it if you only have 1 hive. If you're looking at this hive and going, oh, that one is doing something strange, you know you might have a problem that you have to deal with. If you have just 1 hive, you don't have that kind of check and balance kind of thing. I think you can get away with 1 hive if you are part of a core group, a mentoring group, or you're taking a class and you're experiencing other people's beehives as well. The thing to think about is that beehives aren't cheap, and a package or a nuke of bees, don't ship packages by the way, is not cheap either. It's a big dollar investment. So the question between 1 and 2 to start is a hard one. I lean toward 2 hives, and that's how we started, and it's certainly because we're up here in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we have the internet and everything, but I didn't have anyone I could just go down the road and go, oh, your bee's doing this thing, you know? So we went with 2, and that really worked out well because one of the hives was acting wonky, but I could see that, oh, this one's much more robust. This one looks kind of weak, you know? So we went from there. First year, I got both my hives through a hard Northwest Connecticut winter. It gets cold up here. It gets like, maybe not Maine cold or Vermont cold, but it's called the icebox of Connecticut, is where we have our bees here. I got them through there, and I was reading about how to catch swarms to get free bees, and I got really excited. And it happened to be that there was a guy nearby who had a bunch of old bee equipment, and so I built swarm boxes, and I was trying to catch swarms, which can be really hard if there aren't a lot of feral bees around, and around here there aren't a lot. But I did catch some, and I bought a couple more packages, and I went big. I was like, oh wow, this is great, because the first year we had this really good honey crop. Plenty of rain means plenty of nectar, by the way. If it doesn't rain, you're not gonna get any honey that year. But it was just this banner year, and we were so excited, and we were like, let's get more beehives. So I went big, and in hindsight, that was a mistake for me. Some of my friends also went big, and we were like, oh wow, we're gonna do this. It becomes less fun, let me just say. It becomes a job. You know, you're working all week, and on the weekend you have, 2 hours, 1 hour to tend to your bees. And these bees are in a farm. I can't keep them in my yard. There just isn't enough food around, basically. And you have to drive down, you have to load your car up. Did you forget something? I would notoriously forget something and then have to go back up to the house. And it just got to be that I didn't really want to take care of the bees. It was like they weren't really languishing, but it wasn't fun anymore. And I kept 6 or 8 hives for several years. And to open up 8 hives and work on them, just check on them, let alone, checking on the mites, doing a mite treatment, or pulling the honey supers, it's just a lot of work. And after several years of having lots of hives, I just got burnt on it, and I dialed it back. I went to 2 hives here, and then I took 2 hives down to Brooklyn, where we lived during the week, and I put them on my buddy's roof. And that kind of allowed me to breathe a little bit. The Brooklyn hives are right near my house. I can just walk down the street and go tend to them. These I can check on the weekend, And then this spring, I hit even more of a beekeeping wall, and I realized that my weekends are so limited that I kind of didn't think I had time for beekeeping anymore. And so these 2 hives I gave to a neighbor of mine who lives right up the road. He's a young kid, very interested in beekeeping, and already has a hive of his own. He's taking care of these. My deal with him is that they stay here because my buddy Bill, whose farm this is, loves the bees. So I come down and help, but these aren't my bees anymore. I have 2 hives on a Brooklyn rooftop, and I'm happy with that. So it's kind of come full circle. I've gone from 2 hives to really big, back down to 2 hives. So think about that. I mean, I know you're just kind of starting on what could be a really fun thing. It is really fun, but also stay small and it'll be more fun. Maybe you want a lot of honey, but you're gonna get some honey maybe, but you shouldn't plan on that every year. There you go. That's kind of my Eric brain dump on this whole thing. So if you have any questions or comments, I'd like to hear from you. And also right here, there's some other videos to click on. Below the video is some text with more information about me and some of the equipment I think you might benefit from. All right, made a great day. See ya.